the F-22 is back in the spotlight, and this time it's not just about looks. This stealth predator of the skies, once thought untouchable, is being pushed to new limits with upgrades that sound unbelievable. From deadlier precision to smarter stealth, whispers of its evolution are fueling debates across nations and sparking obsession among aviation fans. Could this be the rise of a super F-22? Or is it just another wild headline designed to stir the skies? Join us as we explore the new upgrades that the deadly Super F-22 Raptor just got. Back in the month of May, President Donald Trump made headlines when he proudly announced that the United States was preparing a beautiful upgrade of the F-22 Raptor fighter jet. His words once again stirred both curiosity and debate, particularly because the F-22 remains one of the most advanced and secretive aircraft ever built, a symbol of American air power. During a meeting with top business leaders on his trip to the nation of Qatar, Trump went on to shower the jet with high praise. He described the F-22 as the most beautiful fighter in the world and boldly promised that we're going to be doing an F-22 Super. At the time, outlets such as Business Insider quickly reported his comments, highlighting both his enthusiasm and the questions surrounding what such an upgrade might involve. Observers recalled that despite its reputation, the F-22 has rarely been tested against the high-end threats it was originally designed to defeat. In fact, one of its most publicized moments came in the year 2023, when the aircraft achieved an unusual air-to-air kill by shooting down a Chinese spy balloon that had wandered into American airspace. While that mission was technically successful, it also seemed anticlimactic for a jet created to dominate hostile skies, filled with rival stealth fighters and advanced air defenses. In that same speech delivered in Qatar, Trump also accused China of outright theft. He claimed that Chinese engineers had copied the F-22's design in an effort to build their own stealth fighters. With dramatic flair, he added, "They copied our design, but they won't be able to copy our engines." To Trump, the engines remain the crown jewel of American aerospace technology, something too sophisticated for rivals to duplicate. What Trump did not make clear, however, were the specific details of the supposed upgrade he promised. His remarks were vague, leaving defense experts, journalists, and military enthusiasts wondering whether he was simply speaking off the cuff or whether there truly was a classified modernization plan already in the works. Since then, more information has slowly surfaced. A report published this very month shed light on what the United States Air Force is actually requesting for the future of the F-22 fleet. The service appears focused on extending the life of the jet, adding new avionics, improved weapon systems, and enhanced networking abilities, so that the Raptor can operate effectively alongside newer aircraft such as the still-in-development next-generation air dominance platform. The report also emphasized the challenge of maintaining the fleet. The F-22 was produced in limited numbers, and production officially ended over a decade ago. With fewer than 200 operational Raptors in service today, the Air Force faces mounting costs to keep them airworthy and combat-ready. Upgrades may be beautiful, but they are also expensive and time-consuming. According to the latest budget request from the United States Air Force for fiscal year 2026, the Story jet is slated for a round of transformative upgrades designed to ensure it remains dominant in the skies of tomorrow. For aviation enthusiasts, this is the kind of news that sparks adrenaline. The Raptor, already a marvel of aerospace engineering, is about to get even sharper fangs. The upcoming modernization effort will focus on shielding the aircraft from emerging global threats and maintaining its cutting-edge relevance well into the future. These enhancements go far beyond mere cosmetic improvements. Instead, they represent a full-spectrum boost to stealth, situational awareness, survivability, and lethality. In other words, the Raptor is being tuned to take on an era of increasingly contested skies. One of the headline additions is the Infrared Defensive System, or IRDS, which Lockheed Martin had already teased earlier this year. This system promises to dramatically improve the Raptor's ability to detect, track, and evade heat-seeking threats. But IRDS is only the beginning. The new budget request also calls for enhancements to the jet's stealth features, a more powerful and sensitive radar array, and upgrades to its already formidable electronic warfare suite. Together, these improvements will make the F-22 not just harder to see, but also harder to shoot, jam, or outmaneuver. For fans of military aviation, the details get even juicier. Other projects currently in the pipeline include podded infrared search and track sensors, allowing the Raptor to hunt enemy aircraft passively without giving away its position, and stealthy drop tanks that would extend the jet's range without compromising its radar-evading profile. These innovations, however, are not part of the immediate budget request. That said, their very existence underscores the Air Force's intent to squeeze every ounce of potential from its limited fleet of Raptors. And limited it truly is. The Air Force currently operates roughly 185 F-22s, of which only 143 are combat-coded and ready for frontline missions. The remainder are dedicated to training, testing, and evaluation. Factor in the unavoidable downtime for maintenance and repairs, and the operational fleet shrinks even further. Despite these constraints, demand for the Raptor remains sky-high. Its combination of stealth, speed, agility, and sheer intimidation keeps it in constant rotation wherever American air power needs to send a message. To ensure it stays ahead of rivals and continues meeting these high demands, the Raptor is receiving a fresh wave of upgrades. The package features the previously announced infrared defensive system, alongside upgrades to the jet's stealth design, radar strength, electronic warfare tools, and other improvements. This is separate from additional modernization plans for the F-22, which include podded infrared search and track sensors and stealth-designed, range-extending fuel tanks. The Air Force's latest budget request for the fiscal year 2026 outlines details of these viability upgrades. This is a new program for which the service is requesting just over $90 million in the next budget cycle. At present, the Air Force has 185 Raptors, but only 143 are combat-ready. The remainder are reserved for training, testing, and evaluation purposes. A large share of the fleet also spends time unavailable due to scheduled maintenance. Even so, the smaller Raptor fleet remains powerful, unique, and consistently in high demand. According to the Air Force, viability represents the future procurement of hardware and software capability improvements. These include, but are not limited to, low observable signature management, upgrades to the pilot vehicle interface, new countermeasures, helmet enhancements, future crypto protections, dynamic synthetic aperture radar, stronger cybersecurity, and the infrared defensive system for detecting missile launches. Electronic warfare system improvements will also be introduced to counter new enemy electronic threats. The service added that more advanced situational awareness features and mission effectiveness technologies would allow the F-22 to take an even stronger role in joint operations with other U.S. and allied forces. Lockheed Martin first confirmed in January that Raptors would receive the new infrared defensive system. The company explained that this technology would build upon its TASI-IRST infrared search and track sensors. TASI-IRST originally appeared in 2022 and was first seen integrated into the noses of F-5 Advanced Tiger aggressor jets, owned by the private contractor Tactical Air Support. A pod carrying multiple TACRS-T sensors has also been tested in past trials. The system represents a leap forward in survivability. By allowing pilots to detect missile threats earlier and with greater accuracy, it offers a decisive advantage in the sky. The addition of electronic warfare upgrades ensures that Raptors can adapt against fast-changing enemy technology, making them better equipped for modern and future battlefields. Combined with stealth-preserving drop tanks and extended infrared sensors, the aircraft will not only retain its dominance, but push it further. Despite being introduced in the mid-2000s, the F-22 remains the most advanced air superiority fighter in existence. However, its relatively small numbers have always been a limitation. Unlike the larger fleets of other aircraft, the Air Force has less than 200 Raptors in total, meaning every jet counts. These viability enhancements aim to keep the fleet effective, reliable, and capable of staying ahead of rising threats well into the future. The Air Force's fiscal year 2026 budget proposal highlights the infrared defensive system as the official program of record for the F-22's missile launch detector modernization effort. This initiative is focused on improving detection of long-range air-to-air and surface-to-air missile threats. It involves replacing the older legacy launch detectors with a new generation of sensors. The budget also notes that a formal decision on whether to begin low-rate initial production of the system for integration across the Raptor fleet is expected in the fourth quarter of fiscal year 2026. Currently, the F-22 relies on its AN/AAR-56 launch detector, which provides all-around infrared threat warning. What remains uncertain is whether the new defensive system will simply enhance those existing capabilities or expand them to something closer to what the F-35's distributed aperture system or other similar technologies already deliver. The growing threat environment is a major driver of these upgrades. In January, the Air Force warned about the likelihood of facing increasingly advanced anti-missile systems by the year 2050, some with ranges extending to as far as 1,000 miles. Both China and Russia have already developed or deployed new generations of long-range air-to-air and surface-to-air weapons. A sharp but short conflict between India and Pakistan earlier this year drew attention to China's PL-15 missile, a weapon that has already influenced the U.S. decision to develop the AIM-260 Joint Advanced Tactical Missile. While the budget documents did not provide much additional detail about the full viability upgrade package, other notable enhancements have been confirmed. F-22 pilots are slated to receive Thales Scorpion helmet-mounted displays, a capability that was removed during the aircraft's original development. In recent years, the lack of such a system has become increasingly apparent in combat training and operational needs. To complement this, the Air Force awarded Lift Airborne Technologies a contract in 2022 to design a next-generation fixed-wing helmet, not only for Raptor pilots, but for others across the fighter community. The budget also references improvements to stealth signature management, an area that has drawn attention thanks to tests involving mirror-like coatings applied to the F-22, the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter, and even the retired F-117 Nighthawk. These coatings, though semi-secretive, suggest a wider range of stealth enhancements under consideration. Beyond coatings, modifications designed to reduce infrared signatures are expected, aligning with the broader global resurgence in infrared search and track systems. Unlike radars, these systems are passive, allowing them to track stealth aircraft and missiles without emitting signals that can give away their position. They are also immune to advanced electronic warfare tactics, making them a valuable complement to radar systems. The Air Force has also confirmed that the F-22 will gain its own infrared search and track capability, delivered through a podded system. Raptors have been seen flying with stealthy underwing pods for years, and now this upgrade will officially move forward. According to the budget, the Sensor Enhancement Initiative will sharpen the Raptor's ability to detect and track threats, ensuring that the Block 30 and Block 35 jets retain their signature edge. First look, first shot, and first kill. The Air Force's latest budget proposal makes clear that work on enhancing the F-22 Raptor is pressing forward. It reveals that the service has already placed initial production orders for 2 separate lots, each consisting of 15 pods, making a total of 30 units. The plan is to begin receiving the first pods, which will be fitted with advanced infrared search and track sensors, by the second quarter of fiscal year 2028. In the meantime, additional testing and evaluation of the system will continue to ensure its effectiveness before it is fully fielded. One intriguing prospect mentioned in the documents is the potential for the new infrared defensive system and the podded infrared search and track capability to work in tandem. If successfully integrated, this pairing could significantly enhance the Raptor's ability to detect and track elusive threats. In general, infrared search and track systems can instantly determine a target's angle and bearing, but gauging range with a single sensor is more difficult. However, when 2 infrared systems mounted on separate aircraft are networked together, they can triangulate a target's position with precision, providing engagement-quality tracking data. Lockheed Martin has already showcased this kind of networking in the past with its Legion pod, which uses the IRST-21 sensor in a traditional gimbaled configuration. This demonstrates the promise of combining multiple infrared systems into a unified, highly capable detection network. Beyond sensors, the Air Force is still moving ahead with plans to field stealthy, low-drag external fuel tanks for the F-22. Known as the Low Drag Tanks and Pylons Program, or LDTP, this initiative is designed to extend the Raptor's range while minimizing the aerodynamic penalties typically associated with carrying external stores. The Air Force explains in its budget that these new tanks will allow the aircraft to fly supersonic with external fuel attached, all while retaining lethality and survivability. The pylons themselves are being fitted with advanced pneumatic release systems that maintain low drag while providing precise ejection performance. According to the budget proposal, the LDTP program will finalize technology maturation and conduct a series of risk reduction efforts. These include acquiring test pylons, refining designs for improvements, completing a manufacturing readiness review, and supporting the execution of initial flight tests at speeds up to 0.95 Mach. Looking ahead, the program will continue its engineering and manufacturing development phase, procuring low-drag tank assets and associated support equipment, while conducting flight trials to expand the performance envelope up to 1.2 Mach. Certification and qualification work will follow to ensure the system is combat-ready. The Air Force is not stopping at range extension. The budget outlines ongoing efforts to improve the Raptor's communication systems, avionics suite, and overall fleet reliability. These upgrades are essential for sustaining the platform, which has long been criticized for its maintenance-intensive nature. The discussion surrounding the proposed upgrades to America's advanced fighter aircraft has drawn significant attention, especially with questions about whether these plans will truly materialize. Observers noted that the request for the upgrades appeared to have firm backing from the President of the United States, an endorsement that undoubtedly added weight to the proposal. Such high-level support suggested that the project was being treated as more than just a passing idea, but rather as part of a strategic commitment to strengthening the future of the nation's air dominance. This development followed a statement made 4 years earlier by General Charles Q. Brown, who served as the United States Air Force Chief of Staff during the Biden administration. In the year 2021, General Brown had indicated that the F-22 Raptor was unlikely to remain part of the Air Force's long-term plans. His comments at that time, reported by Defense One, highlighted a larger restructuring vision for the Air Force fleet. General Brown explained that the Air Force then operated 7 different fighter fleets, a structure he believed needed to be streamlined. His intent, he clarified, was to reduce the number of fighter fleets to about 4. By doing so, the Air Force could concentrate resources, simplify logistics, and sharpen its technological edge. According to him, the goal was not just reduction for the sake of cutting numbers, but rather a deliberate move toward creating the right balance of aircraft that could meet the evolving demands of modern warfare. In his words from 2021, Brown emphasized the need for flexibility and foresight. He remarked that he was seeking a window of options, recognizing that threats and assumptions would change with time. By shaping the Air Force toward a specific direction, Brown intended to prepare it for a range of possible challenges. His statement reflected both caution and vision. Caution because the nature of threats could never be predicted with certainty, and vision because decisions made in that moment would influence American air power for decades to come. The replacement for the F-22 was already in discussion at that point. Brown made it clear that the then-developing next-generation air dominance program, now identified as the F-47, was expected to take the Raptor's place in the lineup. The NGAD project, shrouded in secrecy but widely regarded as one of the most ambitious undertakings in the history of combat aviation, was envisioned as a leap forward in stealth, range, and adaptability. At the core of his strategy was the acknowledgement that the United States could no longer afford to spread its resources thin across too many different aircraft types. Operating 7 fighter fleets meant increased costs in training, maintenance, and supply chains. By reducing that number to 4, the Air Force could channel its budget into fewer but more capable platforms, ensuring that each one would be maximized for efficiency and effectiveness. General Brown's remarks in 2021, when viewed alongside the President's current support for the upgrade proposal, suggested a continuity of thought within American defense strategy. The idea was to build a leaner, stronger, and future-ready Air Force, prepared to adapt to both current and unforeseen challenges. Whether through the gradual phasing out of the F-22 or the elevation of the NGAD F-47, the broader aim was unmistakable: to secure America's dominance in the skies for years to come. All of these plans come at a time when the future of the F-22 remains somewhat uncertain. Until last year, Official Air Force strategy had called for the eventual replacement of the Raptor by a new sixth-generation stealth fighter under the Next Generation Air Dominance program. However, the continued investment in the Raptor fleet suggests that, at least for now, the Air Force intends to keep its prized stealth fighter relevant and capable well into the future. Thanks for watching. While you are still here, click on the link on your screen to check out another of our videos. See you there.